It is 12:19. You are listening to the Mari Mukwanda Show on Salam Media, and this is the Tuesday edition. It is also time for our hit list, and joining me is the CEO of Soul City, South Africa, Fina Kodisang. Fina, good day.
Good day. How are you?
How are you today, Fina?
I'm great. Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining me. So you joined the Soul City Institute in 2015. Why did you want to be part of such an organization?
I think it's everybody's dream to be part of something that is great, something that is that stands out, And Soul City is that organization that has always stood out in terms of their offerings that we saw on TV. And growing up watching Soul City, you always wonder who's behind the scenes. What are they, what do they put into bringing such beautiful content? And that interested me. And when the opportunity came to join the organization, I took it with both hands.
And how did your journey start? I mean, before Soul City, you achieved a lot more before becoming the CEO of Soul City. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, thank you. So my passion has always been working with youth and especially young women. As a Black young woman growing up, you always wish for a better life for yourself and others. And I've had humble beginnings myself. I didn't grow up in riches. I grew up, I think, in a humble home where, your mother is the breadwinner of the home. She takes care of everyone, and you can see how she makes ends meet to make sure all of you, have the education, have a life that you can enjoy. So I've always wanted to do something. So you could say I've always been a community developer at heart. I've always wanted something better for myself, but not only for me. I understood that you must, as you lift yourself up, you take others with you as well. And that has always been my motto, that you rise by picking others up. So my journey has been that of development, that of wanting better, but also that of challenging injustices. So with Soul City, you get an opportunity to do both development work, but also to deal with injustices as they rise in our community, in our society. So I really enjoy working with Soul City because the opportunities that are there are just great. And I'm grateful for each and every opportunity that I get.
The year 2020 was a year of transformation for the Soul City Institute, and you guys have reached a milestone. Enlighten us about the transformations.
So we started 2020 with new leadership, me, taking over from somebody who's a formidable force, Ms. Ramafoko. And we needed to reflect on where is the organization going, given that we are now under new leadership. And one of the things that I think I pride myself in is that I'm an inclusive leader. I don't just lead on my own, I make sure that in my leadership I include people, but I also give people a platform to lead with me. And that is why when I took over, I called the staff members and I said, look, this year we're going to do a lot of things differently. We're no longer going to do business as usual. And that was before we even knew that COVID, was going to challenge all of us. So I said to the organization, I want you to help me take Soul City to the next level. And we need to do something different. We need to transform ourselves as we transform the organization. And hence, it was called Year of Transformation. It was a year where we were saying, yes, we appreciate everything that has been done to get the organization to where it was. But we start 2020 with understanding that we are now taking it to the next level. We are now, transforming even our mindsets in how we think about our contribution as staff members within the organization, in how we engage with one another, in how we deal with stereotypes, we challenge the status quo, we challenge the whole system that the
mm,
organization operates in. And transformation for us was about that. It was not only that we are now in under new leadership, but it was as a staff member. It doesn't matter what level of staff member I am. What am I contributing to make sure that the organization looks and feels different from how it has always been? Not because how it has been was not right or didn't achieve, but if you want to move to the next gear, what is the contribution? What do you do? How do you bring your A game? And that's what I think we managed to achieve in 2020. Yeah.
mm. You are very vocal about certain issues like gender-based violence and patriarchy. These are issues that we are currently facing in South Africa, and they have formed part of our cultures. In fact, it has lived as a cultural norm. So, how do we work around such issues, and how do we break that thinking pattern that this is part of our cultures?
By transforming our mindset, we start with changing that. We can't accept that we live in a society that is normalizing violence. We live in a society that is normalizing injustice. We need to, change that narrative, disown that narrative. In actual fact, refuse to accept anything that says one person is better than the other or one person can live a better life at the expense of another. So transforming our mindset around issues of injustice is the first point. We need to look at, as an individual, what am I contributing to this injustice? How am I perpetuating injustices in our society? Whether you are a woman, you are a man, injustices, are perpetuated by all of us. They are not necessarily perpetuated by men. But of course, men benefit from this injustice. And that's the way patriarchy has designed it, is that all of
Mm,
us suffer, but there are those who benefit, and in this case, it's usually men who benefit from such a system. So I lend a voice to the fight against patriarchy because I understand if we dismantle it, we are slowly dealing with those issues of gender based violence, issues of inequality. We are then slowly dealing with them if we dismantle this system. And it's a big system. It's a system that has been there for many years, a
yeah.
system that is entrenched in so many things, normal day to day things. It's a system that people fight so hard to keep because they understand that if they lose that, their privileges are also going. So it's a
Mm,
fight that continues. It's a fight that never ends. You can never even get an opportunity to celebrate your wins.
mhm.
Those small anyana wins, it's difficult to celebrate because once you let your guard down, the system comes back with bigger things for you to fight.
And unfortunately, the system has been ongoing for so many years, and our parents have accepted it. Our grandmothers have accepted it, and now it's like we have to accept it as well. But we don't have to. This is where it's supposed to end, and this is where we break the chains and transform our minds. And when we do such things, our parents and grandparents now come to us and say, "You know what? You did something that I could never have done."
Yeah,
Back in my days because I accepted it because I thought that this was the way, and this is not the way. There
it's not.
is change. If you are willing to transform your mind and the way you think and do things, then you will be building a foundation for the next generation as well, for them to realize that this is not the way indeed.
Yeah.
Afina, unfortunately, time is not on our side, but a quick question. Will we be seeing a return of Soul City and Soul Buddies?
Of course, you know, um,
Yes.
that's something that we are really working hard to make sure that we remain on TV, we remain on radio platforms because that's our contribution as Soul City. We understand how important it is to even engage young ones on issues of patriarchy, for them to understand why the system must be dismantled. So we are working. The sooner we get resources, the sooner you will be seeing us on your screens.
Awesome. I can't wait for my children and my nieces and everyone to start watching Soul Buddies and Soul City. In fact, I have the song playing in the back of my mind right now.
So, buddy,
Yes. Tomorrow is ours.
of course.
Thank you so much for your time, Fida, and I wish you well in your future endeavors.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
Bye.
That was Fina Kodisang, the CEO of Soul City South Africa. She's also a feminist and advocate for young women and girls. And talking about her life as a CEO and her journey and what we can look forward to with the Soul City Institute, or rather the Soul City, Soul City Institute, South Africa. You can leave your comments in the comment section, or you can send them to us on our WhatsApp line. That's 061-766-0355. And we will be right back after the break, chatting to our resident OBGYN about interstitial cystitis. Do stay with us.